I worked it out once that I'd lived in 50 houses by the time I was 50, because my parents moved a lot for my dad's work, and then I moved as well. I eat at the cafe downstairs at least once a day, and usually breakfast. And then at weekends or whatever, I often go out with friends to cafes or restaurants, because it's such a luxury for me to live for an extended period of time in the one place. I've never really had that before, where it was easy to catch up with friends. The other thing is, a lot of my friends are at a similar stage of life to me, so they're either winding down from work or even retired. I have an autoimmune disease, and it's an autoimmune disease of the connective tissues, which means it affects everything. What it means is my health status varies. So, for instance, 2 years ago, I couldn't get off the lounge. I had a friend staying with me because I couldn't do my own hair or dye my bra. I could barely shower myself, and I couldn't drive, couldn't cook, all those things. But you know, I'm on medication, obviously, to control that, and I'm much better now. So I was also subcontracting a lot of my work. Because I just wasn't well enough to handle it. Well, I have 2 jobs, or 3 really. The really important one is I do grandmothering, and I'm a grandma at least 1 day a week and in between bits. I'm fortunate that my daughter and my grandchildren live very close. The other job is I run a small consulting business, and I also design one-off training programs. And my daughter and my associate, Kerry, works with me on that, but not full-time, because that would probably drive us both batty. It also is very nice for me in terms of having a backup for if I'm not well, because I can delegate a lot of stuff to her. Hi, who is Shelley? So she's particularly strong in the training and research area. I was just about to bring some washing in and hang a load out. Did you want to make a coffee or a tea straight away?
I'm going to sit down, have a glass of water, have a coffee after my lunch, take my antibiotics, but first show my new watch.
I thought so. I saw the box. Oh, it's just lovely, darling. Can you see to set the date and read it?
Yeah.
Okay,
it costs me less to buy a new watch than get my other one repaired.
Of course it does. My daughter was an adult, and she was coming towards the end of her studies, and I realised that she was going to be moving out soon, mainly because she formed a serious attachment. So I thought, well, I was thinking, I'll move in a year or so, I'll look around and see what's available.
Cassie, downstairs, I mentioned you were doing filming.
I can't hear you, sweetie.
Okay, all right.
So I made a list of my basic requirements. I was really shocked. I couldn't find anything that met the list. One of the problems I have when my autoimmune disease is playing up is my shoulders are really bad, and I can't lift them up to hang things on the line. So I have things like this where I can lift it off, hang it all on, and then put it up. So if it's only one lift, rather than 50 million lifts. I wanted disability access to the apartment. I wanted a nice outlook. It didn't have to be a magnificent view, but it had to be pleasant, you know, not a brick wall. I wanted natural light. I wanted cross ventilation. I wanted 2 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms. That was hard. Are you quite comfortable there, Princess? Well, what happened is I came across this really astute agent. She went through the list and she said, I've only got one apartment that comes anywhere near meeting your requirements, and it is for sale off the plan. And I'd looked enough by now to know that she was probably telling the truth. And so in the end, I sold my house and bought this off the plan, because I realised that the opportunity to customise that you get with buying off the plan is probably worth having. It enabled me to have things like a fireplace put in. I could have skylights put in my bathroom so that I've got natural light in my bathrooms. I'm the only person in the building who's got natural light in their bathrooms. This is what I love, having my washing machine in this great big space here, because I could never afford a laundry this size, and I don't want one particularly. We had some building defects.
Right, you can't do dinner because you're doing Misty's insulin, aren't you?
I can, but I have to come over after 6. And as part of that rectification, they had to rip up part of my bathroom to redo the waterproofing. So I said to them, demolish but don't rebuild. I will get mine rebuilt to my specifications. So there were a couple of issues that I wanted to address, ranging from the door width to the fact that there wasn't room in the shower for anyone to assist me. So where you see the shower was the laundry, and they'd put a step like this down into the shower. That, by the way, to a builder is a hobless shower, whereas to me a hobless shower is that much step, you know. And in crutches, of course, that's just so dangerous, it's unbelievable. This is the other bathroom. So the toilet and hand basin and mirror were a mirror image. What was different is where you see the bath, there was a shower. So what it meant was the bathroom was very tight to negotiate with. There was no space. The laundry was a nightmare to use and to get the washing machine in and out of. And so I was doing it essentially as an owner builder, okay? And I have to tell you, it was incredibly difficult to find somebody to do it. These taps have this very long spindle, and over time the tap rocks in there and then it starts to leak into the cupboard. I originally went to an OT I knew and said, can you refer me to someone who does home modifications? And she did. And I was about to go into hospital. He delayed getting the stuff back to me. And when I saw the contract, I was horrified. After the discussion we'd had, and we'd had an intensive discussion, he had put in stuff I had not asked for, that we had not discussed and that I did not want. He had not put in stuff I had asked for that I did want, that it was important to me. It was like he had some picture in his mind of what a person would want, and that was what I was going to get. I went to Cass Brothers and said, have you got a builder you can recommend? And they recommended a couple to me, and they said, and we particularly recommend this guy because he's done stuff for clients of ours and they'd be very happy with it. So that was how I found the builder in the end, was through Cass Brothers. I'm a serial renovator. I walk into a shop like this and it's like going into a shoe shop for an ordinary woman. I feel excitement. This I've done on mine. I just love these. No handles. Nothing mucky to stick out, catch your clothes clean, get fingerprints all over. Yes, you do need to wipe this every now and then, but that's no big deal. I would look at everything because it gives you a sense of where current design is heading. Gee, that's very stable and sturdy, isn't it? I wonder if you could use it as a grab rail. And
or a grab rail, you need something like the one just behind you.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a proper grab rail. How brilliant. If you'd had that, I would have got that at the time. And the reason I chose this is adjustable and it's easy to adjust. I don't wash my hair every day, so I usually have the height set so it doesn't hit my hair and I don't have to wear a shower cap then.
So that's just the normal spray?
Yeah. So can I just check how heavy that is?
Certainly. With, again, it's plastic.
Oh, that's not too heavy.
The shower heads are.
No, I just don't want it to be too heavy to hold for me.
That's the reason why they're all plastic.
Yeah.
Because it makes the shower head much lighter.
Yeah. With the shower hose, I'm happy with the short one for now, but if I end up back in a wheelchair again, as I did last time I had an ankle operation, I will need a longer one. Would I be able to just substitute a longer hose with no problems?
This fitting and this fitting are all universal within pretty much majority of the brands except for Parisi. The longest they go is 2 metres. Mm-hmm. But if you need anything longer than 2 metres, then basically you get 2 hoses and this little attachment.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't look as pretty, but what you can do is basically extend it to a 4 metre hose.
2 metres would be the size of my shower recess, so that's okay. One of the traps I found in the past is if you don't tell them, plumbers automatically put the thing right up the top. The shower outlet, I mean. They tend to put that way up the top, and I prefer it about halfway down, so because you can put it up or down.
This toilet here, that's the standard height of 40 centimetres up to the seat.
I came in and said I want to order the Caroma Easy Living toilet range because I'd heard about it. They had the brochures, I selected, but then, and it arrived. But then when the builders looked at what I'd ordered, they'd said, this won't fit in your bathroom. I didn't realise it was over 1 metre deep.
The reason for that is because it's a little bit lower as well, so they designed so you can actually wheel a wheelchair right over them.
The one I'd chosen would have come out to here, so you would have had to inch around it like that. And they said they'd seen this one there and to go and try it because they adjust the height to where you want it to be. And because I was having a knee operation, obviously I didn't want anything where I had to stand up from below knee height. Yeah. And so when I sit on this, I'll put it straight, you can see my thighs are almost level, in fact slightly going down. And so when you stand up, and by the way, I've got things to hang on to. Yeah. This has all worked out really well. So I've got my shower here, which is great. I can adjust that up and down. I can adjust the intensity of the spray. And the glass people suggested I just get these 2 little shelves here, and that just works. So they're there, but they're not in my way because you don't want a glass shelf that you grab if you start to slip. So I would grab that probably. But I'm thinking of having a grab rail put in here at some stage, but there's no hurry for it. I'll have it done when I need it. I can't put it in that brick wall because it isn't the right sort of brick. It won't take the weight. So probably I'd have to put it over to here or this wall I can certainly put one in that wall. And that's why I was interested in that shower rail that they've now put out, which is a shower and a grab rail. So if ever I have to do it, my best bet might be to replace this with one of the grab rails that you can put a shower rail. It is mostly level access. I've actually got a tiny lip here. We tried to get rid of it, but the options involved in getting rid of it in a strata type building were really complex. It would have meant I had to do some things that would be tricky to do, and I just wasn't prepared to go there. If I had a stroke and couldn't lift one foot, that would be a problem. But what I've done is I have tricks for it. So for instance, when I get out of the shower, I'd have my floor mat there. And I don't want to step onto a wet floor because that would be dangerous. So I always put the shower mat down before I get out, and what I do is I line it up with that, and that way I visually see the step and I step onto this. My next project is that the decks need replacing. They've rotted through, but as part of that I'm going to raise the height so that I don't have that step down. Look, my position is that I'm thoroughly committed to the principles of universal design, and for the most part that's all I need. So it's things like good level access or assisted access to the front door, room to get in the front door, space to move around inside my home. But a lot of architects who do this are male, and they don't ever actually use bathrooms the way women do, nor are they involved in caring for people who use bathrooms, like little children or older people or people with disability, as a rule. And so because they don't have the same experience of bathroom use as most women do, they don't understand the design deficiencies they're building in. For instance, when you say disability accessible toilet, they think public toilet, and they're really awful. Oh, highly stigmatising, and people think, I couldn't do that. But there are other ways that will work in a domestic bathroom, and often you don't need the special disability stuff to do it. You need just good stuff, and not even expensive. It's not the most expensive stuff which is the best designed.